Hi everyone, this is Chandra with Wild Root and Longleaf Pine Exchange. Today I'm going to show you guys how to grow your own sprouts. So you can see right here I've got a jar of sprouts that I've been growing for the last week, and we're going to start with some organic sprout seeds. You're going to need a mason jar, and you're also going to need some type of screen. So I love these little screens. You can probably find these online somewhere. It's just a little mesh screen so the seeds can't fall through. And if you can't find that, one of the things that I've used before when I grew sprouts commercially, so I used to grow sprouts about 10 years ago. I grew them and I sold them at local restaurants. And it's just like it's a super easy thing to do. I sold them at the farmer's market. It was really fun. And all I did was I had, so I grew them in at like 1 gallon food grade buckets that I got from a brewing store. And then I just put this wetting tool on top. So of course everything gets sterilized. So even including this, and I would just cut pieces of this wetting tool, or, I like this because sometimes you use cheesecloth, but the seeds really get caught in it, and then it gets moldy fast. I found that the wetting tool was better. So yeah, you just cut this to fit over the bucket, or your mason jar like this, and then just secure it with a rubber band. That's all. Easy peasy, right? So the seeds that I use, I like to buy from a couple different companies. There is, and I don't have anything to do with them. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form, but I love them. I've been buying from them for years. Sprout People and Sprout House. Like, I really trust them. Their germination rates are really good. Their seeds are organic. And this right here is like a staple mix for me. This is my own mix that I make. I call this French salad mix, and it basically just has a clover base. So you want to start with one kind of seed that's like a primary base, and clover is a really good one. So this is a couple different kinds of red clover. It has a little bit of radish for a little bit of spice. I've got a little bit of kohlrabi in there because I just think that's so cool. It adds a little bit of color, and so does the radish, and a little tiny bit of arugula. You don't want to have too much arugula because it's kind of mucilaginous, so you've got to mix it with other seeds. So I actually wrote a book about 10 years ago, a sprouting book, and it's on Amazon. I'll link to it below. I'm kind of laughing because it was one of those projects I was like, oh, you could write a book and put it on Amazon. Like, oh, I'm totally going to do that. So that was that book. I don't sell a whole lot of copies. It's kind of, it's dated now, but it's kind of cool to know that I did that, and it still lives out there. Anyway, so we're going to start with our mason jar, and in this size mason jar, I do 2 tablespoons of seed. So I get my tablespoons, just like that, easy. We're going to put those, they're kind of heaping a little bit. Just moving some things around. And let's see, we'll cover the seeds up. You want to make sure that your seeds, when the ones that you're storing, they've got to stay dry, because obviously if they get moisture in the container, they're going to start sprouting on you, and then they're going to go moldy and they're not going to be good anymore. So alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put some filtered water in here. You can use distilled or filtered. I just prefer filtered water. Alright, so there you can see I've put about 1 inch in there. It's covering the seeds. The seeds are kind of floating on top. And now I'm just going to secure my screen on top. So what's going to happen with this is it's going to sit overnight. So tomorrow morning, all I'm going to do is strain the water out of this, and you'll see how I do that. You can see here I've actually strained all the water out. And then what's going to happen is I'm just going to rinse these twice a day. Once in the morning and once in the afternoon. So I fill this up with water, I swirl it around, strain it out, and then I let it sit upside down in a bowl for about an hour. and then I just turn it right side up and let it keep sitting on the counter. After 5 to 6 days, this is what your sprouts are going to look like. And then what I'm going to do, actually for the last day, like the 7th day, what I like to do is take them out of the jar, and I'm going to rinse them out, and we're going to wash them really good. I'm going to wash them in here. You can see I filled this jar up with water, and I'm just going to use a fork and pull these out. The water just helps loosen them up, get them out of there. What I've done now is I filled this bowl with water, and what we're going to do is scoop off all of the what's called the hulls, the seed hulls, because they just don't look very pretty. And once we scoop those out, then I'm going to put all the sprouts in a strainer, and we're going to let those sit for several hours and drain. You can also use a salad spinner. I've done that too. And then once your sprouts are done, you're going to store them in the refrigerator. All right, so here we are. Here's our sprouts. I have them in the strainer, and all we're gonna do is let those sit for a couple of hours, and then once some of the water has gotten out of them, I'm going to put them in a container with a paper towel and put them in the fridge. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this little video on how to grow your own sprouts, and I hope it inspires you to grow something either in your kitchen or in your own garden. All right, that's it for now. See you next time. Bye.